Here are some of the key features that we're trying to put into SelfieSpeak programming. Everything that's on the to-do list should be on a single page that people could see on their phone. It's something where they can quickly go through these habits. Ideally, they could race through them in 5 minutes. Now, they couldn't necessarily do everything. If one of the items is walk 6.5 miles a day, you obviously can't do that in 5 minutes, but you could go through that checklist at the end of the day or the beginning of the day to see that you're doing it. It has to be quick and easy. We've got to have one key notification go out. I don't know if it's going to be every hour for 12 hours a day or some interval like that. And things like an 8 p.m. notification letting the user know that it's time to turn off all electronics, focus on reading a book, focus on getting ready for bed. And we have to do it in a way that doesn't make the problem worse of just being yet another notification for people. I think it's essential that we have people start their videos and end their videos with themselves saying their own name so that this seems completely personal about themselves. That's what it's got to be about. Their audios need to at least have themselves saying their name, ideally more. And they need to see pictures of themselves. This is absolutely key. We've got to figure out how to make this thing simple. Initially, we'll have one narrative, the Renaissancer. Then I think we'll go to maybe 10 different narratives of people where people can read a couple of paragraphs about someone and say, that's the kind of lifestyle I want. I want to be like that person. And then design all of their habits around that. And this could be something that would be programmed for them, somewhat generic, but then with their name on it for a particular persona or narrative. We have to have some version of this that is so simple that if someone just comes in and wants to spend really 2 minutes typing in their name, uploading their picture, and picking from 1 or 2 templates, they can get in and out and get started and start to see some progress in their life, even if it's just one habit like going to bed earlier or turning their cell phones off earlier. Something that's really simple and easier to get people started in this. We can't make it too complicated. As much as I always want to add more and every creator wants to add more, we've got to keep it really, really simple and give people not just a checklist of things to do, but a way for that checklist to pop up. So if it's 8 a.m. and your goal is to drink a big glass of water and you're planning on getting up at 8, have a notification pop up on your phone saying, time to drink a big glass of water. We've got to figure out a way of doing that. We also need to test which affirmations really work on people, which ones generally or genuinely put people in a better mood, help them make progress, and which ones just seem cheesy and annoying after a while. We need to do, ideally, constant A/B testing. Does this affirmation work or this one? Does this specific suggestion to eat only half a plate of food work better, or is it better to say eat a quick snack of carrots a half hour before dinner and you won't eat as much? We need constant A/B testing on the affirmations, the habits, and really every one of the 7 levels in every sphere to see which ones are generating the best results for people. We've got to have mass collaboration with our users. This is going to get better and better and better and evolve to the point where other companies really, even if they threw a lot of money and resources, couldn't compete because our product will just get better and better and better. We're going to want people to upload lots of pictures of themselves, but also to make the videos more interesting. And because people like watching videos of themselves, especially if we can superimpose their face on a really athletic person in the gym, reminding them, you work out 5 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day at the gym, I think is going to be highly, highly appealing. We also need to do A/B testing on the music for the audios and videos. If we're using our own music, is there going to be some that's going to be more upbeat, or should we give people a choice of 2 or 3 types of music or 50 different types of music. We need to do constant testing to see which music gets people pumped up and yet they don't get sick of it a month later, because the real goal here is for this to be a permanent part of lifestyle. You can look at the most popular religions in the world. They're popular in part because they get people committed to doing certain rituals, whether it's saying a prayer or reading from a particular religious text, every day for the rest of their lives, or certainly at least once a week. That's the goal. We have a similar goal. Now, I'm not starting a religion or a cult here, but that's where the power comes from religion, is this repetition, this idea that it's a ritual you're going to do, if not daily, at least regularly for the rest of your life. That's what we're trying to do with Selfie Speak program, because that's the only way to be meaningful. It doesn't do any good to help someone have new habits for a 28-day challenge. Well, what good is it if you did that habit for 28 days and then you go back to the old habits that gave you the old substandard lifestyle? So that's really the goal, is to figure out how can we lock this in. And we've got to figure out how we can personalize this thing as quickly and as easily and as meaningful a way as possible. Most obvious way, people's pictures of themselves, but their voices, video of themselves speaking, their music they actually like and prefer. All this will help it become more personalized. We've got to figure out a way. Ideally, we get to the point where they don't even have to do a click. They wake up and a sensor on their phone or their iWatch or something tells they're up, and boom, their Selfie Media program just starts playing. And ideally, it would show up in their field of vision, whether they're wearing Google or Apple glasses or on their bathroom mirror. They're seeing advertisements for their life, their Selfie Media program. Or as soon as they wake up, they are hearing their Selfie audio, their Selfie Speak programming. You could even have that instead of an alarm clock. Even though I'm not a fan of using alarms, you could wake up to your own voice telling you what type of a day you're going to have today. I'd like for at least a subsection of the community to figure out a way for them to be accountable to the community. Now, not everyone likes that. I don't really like telling people, oh, my goal is to lose 5 pounds, and if I don't, I want you to hold me up and ridicule. But there is a lot of research that shows that's effective, to, not the ridicule part, but making your goals known to people and being accountable. So I think for a certain subsection of our community, letting them share what their goals are with their life and asking the community to hold them accountable will be very powerful and very helpful. You can and you must be the architect of your future. One of the taglines that I think we need to build upon. We've got to have a way of people picking their personas quickly and easily, and some system where we're thrusting it in their face. Whether it's 3 times a day where your phone comes alive with your checklist and your videos or your audios, or twice a day. I don't know what the best default system would be. At some point we need to personalize that. Some people might like reminders once every 55 minutes. Some people might want it just once a day. I personally like going through my Selfie text programming all at once in the morning in a linear fashion, and then not really doing it the rest of the day, even though I am fulfilling different habits throughout the rest of the day. So we've got to figure out what really works best there. The videos initially, I think we want to keep them to 4 minutes or less, because that's how long a lot of network commercial ad breaks are. Now I realize that especially younger people these days, they don't watch any network TV. But I do think that it's easier to get bored or frustrated if you have to watch a video for very long. Audio, the beauty of it is you can be reading, you can be walking, washing your dishes, commuting. And I think people are used to listening to longer form podcasts. And if we position this as a podcast for yourself, then people are going to be okay with listening to it longer. For my own Selfie Speak program, it's about 5 minutes. I think 4 minutes should be the max. But my Selfie Speak programs have gone anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. And the one I listen to now is just a little under 20 minutes. And the time is not a problem because I'm doing it in the morning while I'm eating breakfast, reading news, taking care of my daughter and everything else. So that's the beauty of the audio format, is it's so versatile. People can be doing other things. You don't have to give it full concentration. You're just passively listening with one ear. But because of that power of repetition, it really locks in those goals. Now, I think we need a website and we need an app where people build their stuff, whether it should be on the app or the web. I don't know yet. Maybe both. But we got to make it really easy for people. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. We have to keep that mantra right up front. Otherwise, we're going to lose people. It's important to realize what we're doing here is going far beyond a vision board. Vision is an important start. Unfortunately, people who stress vision boards, they stop there. And you can have a vision for a mansion, but if you never buy land or you never buy the first brick, nothing happens. This is about the whole thing, your whole life. So it's not just about a vision. The checklist got to be quick, easy, automated, simple, something you can do just by tapping on your phone and not have to write. In the prototypes, I type the word W for when. I have to open up each one, and it's a slower process. By making that process really fast and simple, it's going to make it painless and it will be friction-free. We've got to figure out a way of constantly making the production values on the videos better and the audios better. And using some of the finest minds of Madison Avenue and great ad agencies would be helpful. Crowdsourcing it will be great, but I think if there's a constant upgrade in the video and audio and there's real artistic value, it hooks people in initially and it keeps them much longer. Because so much of this is about creating a feeling. We want people to connect in a positive, emotional way with strong daily habits to help them have the life they want. And if we can really build that using the power of music, using the power of great imagery, I think it's going to make this incredibly effective. We do have to get this to the point where the user can do everything they need just from their cell phone. Personally, I don't like doing things on my cell phone. I like to do things on a desktop, have a whole keyboard and mouse, but we've got to make it so that someone can do everything they need just from the app. And if they are willing to record their own voice, their own Selfie Speak program, we're going to have the script right in front of them where they can see a couple of sentences, hit record, record that, go to the next one, and maybe they do 24 or 25 short little audio recordings, and then a program edits it all together into one file, and they can push that one audio file once a day for years to come, or until they edit it or review it or change it for the next version, for the next update. We do have to figure out a way of appealing to people who are simply uncomfortable talking to their own cell phone, recording their own voice. It is a reality. With them, I think the best we can do is encourage them to just say their name and upload a picture. And there, at least there'll be that aspect of the selfie. We also need to be able to send people monthly assessments, ideally showing them, based on how much information we can track, how well they've done with their habits. But also asking them to rate themselves. People need to have a sense of progress, that they're making progress in their life. So if we can automate this assessment, ideally showing them how well they did with all their habits in the last week, the last month, that'll be great. I mean, some of the sleeping apps do that. Some of the health apps do that. We need to do the same thing with all the other habits people are doing. And then I've said it before, we have to have a big community, whether it's Facebook or our own page. There has to be a community of people who are really passionate, not just about personal development, but specifically about how Selfie Speak programming is changing their lives for the better.